I think the first one had more emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely did.
But, it's tight.
We're still rolling, right?
Yep. Well, welcome back, ladies and
Oh.
gentlemen. We are so glad to be back right here in the studio.
In our home. The home. No more studio. Home. I just thought about that. Home. We're back home. Away from our little trips around the world.
Everywhere.
All over the place. All over the maps. What episode is this? Is it
53.
3 or 4?
No, 54. No, 53.
53.
Yep.
Yeah, it is 53.
It's 53.
53. Sorry, I get a little confused because of all our little different film dates. If you watched our last episode, we had a really cool episode. We had good stories, some normal talk, and then at the end,
You learned how good I was at ping pong.
yeah, had a little treat. Mainly for if you watched it, if you listened, you
Probably wasn't
obviously
nearly
heard
as
it.
entertaining as it could have been. But
Probably not, but hey, we don't always promise number one best stuff, but podium finish. Podium finish.
Every episode's a podium finish.
The
for
podium
sure.
finish. Not the best, but it's top 3. Podium finish. So that's all we promise. That's all we promise.
Yeah, we were debating if we were going to play some like background music, but we didn't know. We didn't want to get copyrighted, right? And then
YouTube.
non-copyrighted music's not the best. So we just had Luke here. We asked him for his permission to play his music, and he said
Well.
yeah. So he said he's going to sing us a little
Oh.
something right now.
Oh, well, you see, actually, I can't. I messed up my vocal cords last weekend down in Nashville. It went out like 3/4 of the way through a show, and I was like squeaking through pretty much. Yeah, it was pretty rough.
It's tough.
It is tough.
I'm surprised the manager even let you come to the pod. That's a lot of talking, you know.
Well, he's like, as long as you keep it quiet.
My
Nice
voice
and
actually did
quiet.
hurt this morning a lot. I was yelling
I
a lot
bet.
last night.
I bet.
Yeah.
You and Riley were in a heated conversation for like an hour, and you guys yelled at each other for like an hour.
Yeah, we did. And then after that, we went and talked about our stats class we have together. It was so funny.
Like, do you actually go together in person?
Yeah. And it was so funny because, like, that's the only class I go there for. So I literally drive there, and it's like a 35-minute drive. I sit in the class for about an hour, 10 minutes, and I drive back home. So I'm, like, driving both ways just as long as I'm there. So, like, my whole mentality is I drive there, I get in, I get out. There's days where I don't say a single word to anybody. And it's just like, I don't know. It's just, I walk in, I sit down, I take the notes, I do whatever, and I walk out when we're done. And it's just in and out. It's like me and Riley do the exact same thing. Every once in a while we'll see each other and we'll give each other a nod.
The nod.
But that's it.
That's
It. Yep, just a little. That's it. And like he said that to me, he's like, yeah, a lot of days, like, I don't say a word to anybody. Like, I'll see you, but I just don't say anything. I just walk right in, do notes and work, and I'll walk right out. I'm like, brother, I'm so glad you said that.
I'm the same way.
I think there was a word missing there.
Nah, there wasn't.
There wasn't?
No.
Oh, okay. Just
It was
checking.
no quote either, so.
Oh.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So don't quote me on that.
All right. I won't quote you.
But back to the music thing. Is that where we kind of ended it off?
Yeah.
We wanted music because sorry, I'm going to quit mess with the balloon.
That's not music to my ears.
You don't like balloons?
Oh, balloons
Just-
squeaking.
Squeaking, that's what
If
it is.
I have like one pet peeve that I'll consistently say, it's when people have wet shoes and they're walking on, like, especially like the high school tile.
Mm-hmm.
And they
it just
squeak it
squeaks.
purposely. Oh, yeah.
Yes. Oh, that. I cannot stand that noise. It's not that it hurts my ears or anything. I mean, kind of does, but it's just annoying to me.
It's not bad. I don't think I really have any noises that really get to me. Other than like nails on a chalkboard, that's obvious, for everybody.
Yeah. Everyone doesn't. Never really met anyone that does like it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never really even heard nails on a chalkboard in real life, though.
Because we don't
Yeah.
know what chalkboards are. Because we're millennials.
I only have whiteboards.
Yeah, we only have
Or
whiteboards
smartboards
and
at this
smart
point.
boards.
Mm-hmm.
It's merely a figure of speech anymore, honestly.
Yeah.
It's trapped in the history of literature now.
Mostly classrooms before 1990. All the way back. Through time and eternity.
How long do you think chalkboards have been around?
I couldn't tell you. I'd have no clue.
I'm going to say from like the 1920s, maybe.
So I'm saying, like, I don't know if it's like a 1800s thing or like
I think
a
it
1930s.
could be older. Like I think it could be in the 1800s.
I mean, if it's only in the 19, say,
I mean,
like,
chalk's been
40s,
around a long time.
Yeah.
If it's only in like the 1940s, you get replaced pretty fast. Wouldn't you say? Because expos are definitely a 2000 thing, so that's like maybe a 50-year timeline. No, I'm gonna say they're earlier. I'm gonna say like 1870s.
Like they got to be chalkboards. Got to be old.
All right.
You got an
I was
answer?
right. I was pretty close.
19?
1801. So just 1800s.
Wow.
Because like it's pretty basic. I mean, like,
It's a simple concept.
You go back millions of years. We have cave drawings, which are basically the same thing.
But
It's
they were
rock
making their
and
own.
chalk.
Well, but there's the ones where they made their own like ink
Yeah.
and they painted it on.
Yeah. It was like a. Well, some of them were like dust.
Yeah, some of them
Kinda
are
like
just
a dust, like a chalk type thing.
grinding it in there into the stone
Yeah.
for it to stay. But I don't know. But the music thing,
Oh yeah.
we wanted music, but we can't have music.
Because we'll get copyrighted.
Thanks, YouTube. Anyways, but we
Yeah.
thought about playing no ad music or no copyright music
Yeah.
because there's sometimes a vibe, but we just didn't.
Just, I think sometimes when you have music, it
It-
just helps with the flow of the conversation. And it'll just be like more relaxing to listen to in the background, you know?
If you're trying to focus on doing something, like it's nice not having like a song blaring in your head because you are just like, I just want to sing this song right now.
I just got a gas idea.
Okay.
So
okay.
Also, it's finally starting to get warm where we are. Like it's very comfortable in the cabin. Beautiful day outside. It's
We
getting
mowed
me.
our lawn today. And it was so
it's getting me
beautiful.
so happy, so hyped for the summer and everything. One of these warm winter nights, we should have one out by the fire.
Yeah, definitely.
We can make that happen.
That would be awesome.
Like we'd obviously have to watch the chords, but like right in the middle of us, like fire crackling, us sitting around different lawn chairs, the camera set up, we're sitting there, just having a normal conversation.
Same thing we usually do.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be,
What
that
about-
one will be an extended one because it'll probably go on for.
Yeah.
Oof, it'll take us a
Wait a
while to
while.
get the power out there we need.
Yeah.
Well,
No, we'll be fine. We're all remote right now. We're all remote. All the power's remote. We don't have anything plugged in.
We don't need an extension cord or anything as long as we have our charged batteries.
Oh, fair. Yeah, never mind.
Our whole setup is on the go.
That is kind of cool. I'm just realizing that. We're completely mobile right now.
It's doable.
We don't even need internet to do what we're doing right now.
That is also true. To upload it, we do, but
Yeah.
to actually record, big chilling.
We can record anywhere we want to.
Pod on
We
wheels.
go on a podcast trip.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. This is funny you guys say that because my brother used to have our family van, but he just bought a car. So we're getting the family van back, and he's in Columbus in class. So I guess we're getting the van. Then
Do something with
you
it.
guys it's still our families, but obviously like we could probably use it for.
Hop in the van and go.
Yeah.
I guess. I just thought of that. I'm like, I'm getting the van. I'm like, wow, I'm gonna hear some more Pod on Wheels, aren't I?
Yeah. Because if we got a good system where the driver had like a mic mounted in front of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we just take a card table
In the back.
in the back, and then everyone else sits on lawn chairs.
Yeah. We
That'd
have to
be-
do something for the camera because we wouldn't be able to like video us because it would look really bad and there wouldn't be a good spot for it.
Potentially.
That'd be hard.
Yeah. it'd be
Unless you
hard.
like mounted it like on the A-frame up in the corner. Like in the front.
Yeah.
I still feel like a lot of people would get cut off.
Yeah.
Because they probably
wouldn't
would.
have the driver. We'd almost have to have like a second camera and then edit back and forth.
Yeah.
but we're not that pro.
Like
yet.
cash cab style.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I've been thinking of in my mind. Cash Cab.
Yeah.
That was an underrated TV show.
It's pretty good. I mean, it was so good from the aspect of like you could guess along, like Jeopardy,
Oh yeah, that's great.
and then it had all the
But like it's stuff you might
Aspects
actually
of it.
know. Like trivia questions you might actually know.
yeah.
So like there's a guy on TikTok who does the TikTok 10 and he does 10 quiz questions every day. And like some of his questions I'm like, I have no clue, bud. Like I usually score like 2 out of 10 some days and I'm like, how am I supposed to know that?
Mm-hmm.
Why would I know that? But then I was just found another one came into my For You page, but I don't remember it. But like I got every single one right and I was like I need a combination between how easy hers was and how hard this one is.
Yeah. But one of the best things, because I see a lot of those too on TikTok where it's like get 5 questions right, win $5 or whatever. And the best thing ever is when you prove them wrong. Like, obviously you don't actually prove them, but you're sitting there watching it and they're like, sorry, the answer is this. And you're like, no, it's not. And like, I've done this a few times before, and I go on. Because one of them was, how many states of matter are there? And list them all. And then the people are thinking, all right, the solid, liquid, gas.
3.
There's like
Plasma.
29.
No, there's, like main states of gas. There's solid,
Or
liquid,
matter,
gas.
you mean? Matter?
Sorry. States of matter, solid, liquid, gas.
Solid, liquid,
and
gas.
And then a few people got plasma. And they're like, 4. And then dude's like, that's correct. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, hold up. There's 5. I know that for a fact.
What's the
There's
5th?
5. It's Bose-Einstein condensate.
Yeah. But there's actually, that breaks down to levels upon
Yeah,
levels, and
right.
there's like 32
Yeah,
boson
right.
condensates.
So does, I think plasma has like its own
Yeah.
levels too, because they're like hard to describe. They're like fire, it's raw energy. How it's, but I was sitting there and they're like saying 4. I'm like, I knew it was like Bose-Einstein something. And I'm like, I know there's a 5th. And I went up and looked it up, and I was like yelling at my phone, like, I'm right. You're wrong. There was another one. It was about planets. Or maybe stars.
There's a question that always gets a lot of people. They'll say, how many years can a president be in office?
Oh, yeah, I've seen this one.
Consecutively or like all time?
Whole time.
8.
10.
Is it 10?
Yeah, because they can take over as from vice president to president for 2 years.
Okay.
And then as long as they did 2 or under years, they can serve 2 more complete terms.
Kind of a loophole there.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I always thought like you could serve more. You could just only serve
2
consecutive
terms.
So I knew you could do at least 8.
I think you can only do
But I
full.
thought you could take
I
a
think
break
it's
and
only
then do
2, because
2
I
again.
know there was a president who did that. Maybe Calvin Coolidge.
I forget who it was, but yeah, they skipped the term.
Yeah,
like
they
they
skipped
didn't
the
get
term.
elected back, but then they ran again and they got elected. Like
Yeah.
It'd be like if Trump
Yeah.
ran again, then got
and
elected.
get elected in 2024.
But I think after his 2024 to 2028 term, he couldn't do that again.
No. Then
Unless
again,
he could be vice president and then
take over
he
and
could
then
serve
do
for
another.
2 years. Like, say he's vice president, he has to take over right at the beginning. I think he could only serve for 2 years, and then his vice president would have to take over and get a new vice president.
Yeah.
Possibilities are there,
Yeah.
but that'd be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just tired of what's going on, but we decided we're not talking about politics, so.
I don't know that we weren't really talking about politics. It's more just
We tried to avoid it.
the Constitution.
Yeah, that was more like the laws around it, but
I saw another question that was kind of funny. It was like, where was the Declaration of Independence signed?
Independence Hall, in Philadelphia.
And then dude's like, at the bottom. I was like, he's not wrong.
But like, it was Independence
Yeah,
Hall
it was
in
in
Philadelphia. Independence Hall.
What's
Cool
it,
place.
What's it called? Pennsylvania is the Constitution state, right? Isn't that what it's called? I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, where's Philadelphia at?
It's
Pennsylvania?
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. No, is it?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
Because
I get really
Pennsylvania
confused
has
over there.
Pittsburgh and Philadelphia.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. I get so confused when you get over there because there's like how wonky the state lines over there are. Like, it's confusing.
Such a long state.
It gets confusing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because Pennsylvania is one of those like first like outside the original 13 colonies that got like crazy amounts of land. And it's pretty big actually, all things considered. But
You guys know the first capital of the U.S.?
Roanoke. No.
I don't think so.
I would say Philadelphia.
That's what everyone thinks because that's what the Constitution. It was New York.
New York.
New York.
All right. Newsies.
Can we tell?
Is that not? Oh, that's not from the Newsies. Dang it. Never mind.
No.
It's just that song,
I thought you were
right?
trying to say Jay-Z, and I was like,
No.
what is that by Alicia Keys?
Alicia Keys.
Alicia Keys.
I have no clue. I know the song, the Concrete Jungle or whatever.
Where Dreams Are Made of.
Yeah.
There's
I wanna
nothing
go
you
to New
can't
York.
do.
Oh, what's next? You can't do
When you're in.
New York. Okay. I probably wouldn't have got that actually.
Oh man.
You want to tell that?
Good thing Luke didn't start singing. We would have had to shut him down.
Hey,
Those vocal cords
pretty
can't
good.
handle it.
Yeah. My manager's gonna call me. He's got like a tracker on my phone. In the event I talk too loud, he's calling me.
Dang.
You want to tell the funny one, the funny story?
Let's do it.
It needs to.
Wait. Do we know what time we're at? Did anyone start a timer?
Yeah, I got a timer.
Let's
Okay.
tell that to
Okay,
beginning of the
okay.
second segment.
Beginning of the segment.
Yeah.
Okay,
Alright.
yeah, it'll
We'll make
actually probably roll into something really good.
We'll make him grind through.
We'll make them snake you for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
That's fine.
was so
It's
good.
gonna be a good one.
It's funny.
I'm so surprised we haven't told it.
Like,
Yeah.
honestly, I don't know if we're going to say anything else better, so might as well just skip. No, I'm just kidding.
You have to wait this time.
Yeah.
You hear the story.
Devin legitimately said it was top 3 podium finish, funniest
finish.
moments of his life.
I think, like, again, I have a bad memory, so I can't remember like anything from my childhood. Like, I think I've described it to you, maybe not. But I said I cannot remember anything beyond like a year ago. But if you asked me, I could tell me if it was true or not. Like, if like as a kid, I went to Disney like twice. So to tell me a single memory from any of your Disney trips, I couldn't. But if they would say,
Dang.
"Did you guys go on this ride?" and I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did that. Yeah, I do remember doing that."
The thing that hits me is, like, I can remember a fair amount of things from my childhood, but I still feel like I'm missing so much.
Oh yeah,
It sucks.
I can agree with that. I don't know. Like random things. You'll only remember certain things. Only have space for certain things.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'd have to get a fact check on this, but I saw somewhere that pretty much like 75% of the thoughts you thought yesterday, you think today. Pretty much you think the same things day in and day out almost.
I bet.
I could see that actually.
Like it goes from, like complex things you think about, then thinking about doing simple tasks and all this stuff, but
And then it goes to thinking about something else that's been on my mind recently, and I'm starting to think about it with a whole bunch of different things. Bananas.
What about them?
How are they cold?
What do you mean?
When you bite into a banana, it's kind of cold, right?
Yeah.
okay.
How? It's like, because we have just ours sitting on the counter,
Yeah.
room temperature.
Okay.
You bite in, so it's sitting there, warm, room temperature. It shouldn't be cold. But you
What-
bite into it.
What
I
temperature
want-
do you keep your house at?
Well,
So you're saying it's colder than room temp?
Just think, it doesn't have any natural body heat, though. But even though it's at room
think about this,
temperature.
like you eat a cracker,
Yeah.
not cold.
It's a
Banana, slightly chilled.
Bananas are dense. They're denser than a cracker.
What does that have to do with it?
It just holds retention better. It just retains
there's
its
either
chill.
two things. One, the banana was frozen in transport, and it is a very good insulator, so it kept its coldness.
It's dense.
Or all the heat leaked out into your room temperature air, and then no heat can go through, because that's how things are.
The chill works its way out, but the heat can't work its way in.
Yeah, that's why.
Like you're not just injecting it with heat.
No, I'm saying the heat works its way out, but the heat can't work its way in.
I mean, the cold works its way out.
Cold.
But
the
it is
heat,
cold.
whatever heat it does have works its way out, but no heat works its way in.
Yeah, that's what I
Okay.
said.
That's
bro.
what Jacob said.
I have to think about it. I have to
I'm saying
process.
the cold can't be leaving because it is cold.
Yeah,
I'm slow. I'm slow today. Okay.
that's like the biggest rule in physics when you start talking about energy and stuff is everything goes from hot to cold.
Yeah.
Cold does
without
not
energy
transfer.
being applied to the, what do you want to call it? The situation.
Matter or whatever.
No, there's
your
a
object.
very specific term for it. To the environment
Yeah, that's
of the
sometimes they-
experiment, then it can't be heated up.
Yeah, like nothing can get colder. Technically, it doesn't get colder or gain coldness. It loses heat. Like when you touch
Yeah.
your hand to a piece of
That's
metal.
kind of what I was trying to explain.
Yeah.
The banana isn't being heated; it's constantly losing heat. So the deprivation of the energy, lack
But-
of heat,
but then
is
again,
felt by you when you bite into it.
that doesn't make sense though, because the banana will not lose heat if it's already colder. So let's say if you're saying it's like frozen or in a fridge and you put it on the counter,
Yeah, I
the
get
heat's
that.
only going to transfer in. It's not going to push any heat out because everything wants to balance out.
I get that.
Then I was sitting this morning after I woke up. I was sitting in my bed and I was really thinking about it, and I was like, I need an explanation. And I could be the moisture, because just sometimes how water and moisture in general just makes things feel a little colder.
It's a slow to warm up thing.
Well, I don't think it's so much that. It's just like, I don't know. I'm trying to explain this in a way where,
It might make
like
sense.
anything that, like even apples, right? They're kind of chilled, just because from the moisture. I think moisture like makes things feel cold. You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough. Maybe just a little bit.
If not,
Like,
that's all I got. That's all I got. Because
I didn't take physics, so you're talking about physics, and I'm
well,
like,
not
You
really.
never took physics?
no, I didn't take physics.
Wow.
Even if you didn't, this is still kind of just basic. If it's cold or
It's
not.
not basic if you never learned it.
Well, how bananas stay cold, or why they feel cold.
I had no good explanation
Because-
for it. I don't know.
Honestly, I'm using more like chemistry terminology than physics. Because chemistry is more when you learn about heat transfer, not physics class. Or else I haven't learned it in AP physics at all.
Let me think.
All right, you want to read the answer? The answer, I'm not going to lie. The answer the internet is giving makes no sense.
Is it some super scientifical thing, like, or is it just something dumb?
I mean, it kind of makes sense, I guess.
All right, spit it out.
Let me read it?
Yep.
Okay. So I looked up, why are bananas cold? And they replied, bananas grow in hot climates, so they are unused to being cold. If they are kept at a cold temperature, the enzymes that enable them to ripen are inhibited, and as those enzymes become inactive, other enzymes operate more efficiently.
That's it.
Can anyone...
I don't get it.
Well, it's.
Yeah, I don't
I guess the
understand.
only thing maybe we could work off of here. Okay, so they're grown in warm climates.
Yep.
Warm, as in way warmer than where we live.
Yep.
So
they
then
should
they
be
transfer
warm.
to a colder area of the world and transport.
They should be warm until they equal out.
Maybe it just takes longer for them to equal out. As
They
they biodegrade, they equal
All
out.
right,
and they'll
bounce
get
some
warm.
more, though.
They would
Think
be
about
warmer.
think about if you ate like a brown banana, like something that's like on the browner end and not as green. Much warmer.
It's still,
then
it's still kind of cold.
So there's
It's not
there's
as
a group
cold,
of
though.
fruits that are called cooling fruits. These are fruits that are high in citrus, and due to their high water content, they're able to cool and clear out internal heat.
Is that them still like growing though? Because like I don't know how they're supposed to clear out and cool themselves when they're not being fueled.
Well, they're
from a
definitely
plant.
hot when they grow because they're grown in like 90-degree climates.
Yeah, but I still feel like if you were to go where bananas or wherever are grown, and you would take one right off a tree, right? They grow on trees. Yeah, they grow
Yeah,
on
yeah,
big
trees.
bunch of trees.
Well, they'll be green then. It's not ripe though. When you do that,
Why is it
Yeah.
still cold though?
It must get cold like when the enzymes ripen it. Because you guys saw me. I ate a banana before we started this, and it was
Yeah.
cold.
And was it in the fridge?
No,
Was
I
it
took
on
it
your
off my counter.
For probably a couple weeks, and at the store, they don't have it in the coolers at stores. I don't think.
Some places like
depends where
some,
you
like,
go.
Wagback says like a fruit chilling station.
Yeah,
sort
they
of.
kind of have it like others that just have it on a table.
Yeah,
Because they sell enough of it that
Yeah.
they're just like, they'll be gone eventually.
yeah.
I don't know. It's just weird.
That is odd.
Because then I tried to think about other things.
Like avocados. Avocados are kind of
Never
cold
had
sometimes.
avocados.
Yeah, they're cold.
They're kind of cold too. Yeah. You guys like we buy them like extra firm because we probably don't eat them the same day we buy them, and then you let them sit on the counter, and as
But
they
we
ripen
store-
up,
we store avocados in the fridge.
nah. Yeah, if you plan on eating it, just like leave them on the counter, let them brown up a little bit, pop them right out. But yeah, it's usually kind of cold too. It's kind of whack. I don't get it.
There's got to be something to it.
There's got to be something we're
There's
missing.
there's no way that their actual measurable heat is less than. Yeah, I think I got a good explanation. Is less than the actual room. Let's say your room is 70 degrees. I bet if you would stick a thermometer in that banana, it would feel like 70 degrees, right? Yeah. So you're sitting outside in 70-degree weather. If you jump into a pool that's 70 degrees, that pool is cold. That's a cold pool. 70
degrees is a cold pool.
Compared to
yes.
how hot 70 degrees is outside.
So you're saying like different densities at the same temperature feel different?
I guess.
Because
Maybe
water
it's-
is denser than air, but when it's at the same temperature...
Maybe it's more states of matter feel different. No, because... No, never mind.
No, because like a solid,
Like a
solid
couch
piece
feels
of wood
warm, but
feels the
yeah.
same.
But if that couch is made out of wood versus made out of cloth, the wood one's gonna feel colder.
Yeah.
So that doesn't make sense. Disproved.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not... okay, yeah. It can't be states of matter. It's got to be something with liquids, though. Liquids just got to feel colder.
Yeah. It's just how your body... Because the arc of you feeling cold is a energy deprived object taking energy from you,
Yeah.
which is why it feels cold to the touch.
Yep.
So maybe some objects or liquids are better at that. So a moist banana takes more energy from you, so it feels colder. Because it's just your perception of cold. I think the temperature is the same as your room temperature,
on.
but your perception of how
Yeah,
cold it is.
I think I got it. So, I just lost it. How does that happen?
Come on, Devin.
How does that happen? I literally just had it.
You said you have it, and then it left.
You had it? I'll repeat what I just said. So your perception
Please
of how
don't say that
cold is-
again. We're boring the viewers.
Just redo it. I need to respark. Go on. Repeat what you just said, really.
What was I saying?
Yeah, I got it. I got it. So, you know how liquids are one of the hardest things to heat.
Yeah.
And change it. Like
Yep.
water takes like 10 times more energy to
Yep.
heat
Because
up
why
than
the water
air.
is still warm at
What's that
night,
called?
even
The
though the
boiling
sun's
point?
away.
No.
Oh, there is a term
There's
for
a
it.
term for that. I'll Google it. Keep talking. I'll Google it.
So, the reason that moist things feel cold is because you're trying to heat up or equalize between your body, because your body 98, whatever, and that moisture, and because you try to pick it up and you try to heat it up. So even just to heat it up, the slightest bit, it has to take a lot of energy from you, which is why it feels slightly colder. Because obviously when you suck energy out of something, that's heat leaving. The heat leaves to go.
The heat's leaving your body to try to warm up the banana, but
right.
it feels cold.
Kind of like it's like real similar to metals. Duh. Metals sit in the room temperature rooms all the time. They still feel cold. It's because they take a
They
lot
have
of energy
dense-
to
to heat up.
yeah. So you put your hand on it and it starts sucking a lot of heat from your hand. That's what it is. It's just it's got to be certain. I'm trying to think of a word, not elements. I guess it could be elements and compounds. Most liquids, most metals.
Mm-hmm. It just takes longer for them to warm up.
Yep.
It's not as active. The molecules within it are not as active as like molecules in the air.
Yeah. That's what it is. Boom. Because because that makes sense. Because you eat like a piece of bread,
Yeah.
real dry. And it's warm.
It's warm though.
Yeah.
But it's super airy.
Yeah, that's
There's
true.
lots of air particles within the bread, bro.
That's true.
Because when it rises, it's getting literally infused with hot air particles.
Yeah. Did you find that word? All right. It's fine. We
I
can.
may have honestly seen it, but I just didn't recognize it. Because it's like right on the tip of my tongue.
All right. We'll go to break and we'll come back and we'll tell you guys a story and hopefully we'll find that word.
Maybe during the break.
I will find that word for you guys. Trust me.
Trust you.
Trust it.
Your mics are on.
Again? Still on.
Mic check. Mic check.
I think they're working.
Probably. You probably just ruined their eardrums.
Probably.
They'll be all right.
But we're about to
Excuse me.
absolutely bless their eardrums with
Yes.
this story.
Yes.
Yes. Wow, great transition.
It was.
I know.
I'll let you take a look.
Huh?
For
Wait,
a while.
First, we got to say specific heat. An object's specific heat. A banana's specific heat is 1.76.
7.6, yeah.
Something like that.
A watermelon's specific heat is 2.
Which makes sense because we thought about that. Watermelon sitting on the counter. Cut that open, you bite into it. It's still really cold. So it all makes sense now. We got smarter today.
You guys got smarter today.
We did too, but because we learned. We
Yeah.
learned it. But
Learned it.
anyway, we'll get into the hilarious story. And again, I want to preface it by saying, like most things, yeah, it's kind of like you had to be there. We'll try our best to
recreate how funny it was.
Immerse you guys in the situation, but we can only do so well.
Well, it was a nice Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah, it was pretty nice.
It was one of those beautiful days here in March.
Mm-hmm.
Well, back in March, about 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago,
something like that.
we were Devin, and I had drove ourselves because Tyson had something going on, which Tyson's our boss. So we met him at a store, though, later that day.
Lowe's.
At the Lowe's.
Sitting in the Lowe's park.
We were sitting there playing Pokemon Go, and we saw Tyson pull up. I was like, all right, well, I guess we got to go.
Pokemon Go playing, Devin?
I can't. My phone's won't update to the newest iOS. I can't download it. I've tried. They go ham.
We do.
All lunch.
Tyson sent me a
breaks.
text. He's like, hey, triple catch XP right now for Mudkip. Calm day.
They go.
He's like, I'm
ballistic.
stroking these excellent throws.
They go ballistic on. I don't know what they would do if Pokemon Go wasn't a thing. I don't know what they would do.
This job would suck.
That's what they do.
It's a great time. So we were all just like mid-afternoon slump.
Right after lunch. It was right after lunch. We were getting ready to go back inside.
Mid-afternoon slump though, like kind of tired, didn't want to really do anything. And we roll out of the car. And Tyson's just sitting there like he was on his phone. And he had like just imagine like the door open. He's like with his feet out on the pavement, but he's like
so
on his phone.
Sitting in the car,
looking at his phone.
Doors
Yeah.
open on his
Kind of
phone.
like talking to us still.
Yeah.
But Evan had walked ahead. And
No, it was me at first. I walked ahead.
Did you find the thing?
And I saw on the ground there was a little
Like a
applesauce-
go-go squeeze kind of thing.
Like one of those where they have the top tube and you squeeze it. I picked it up and it was like organic tomato
Applesauce
or
or whatever.
And I was like, "Oh, perfect, Evan. Some lunch." And I showed it to him or whatever, or showed it. And then I give it to him. Evan throws it on the ground, and obviously, if no one's gonna eat it, what do? You gotta pop it.
You gotta do something
So,
with it.
He gets on. He
Didn't he twist it? Like he stood. He picked it
stood
up.
on it.
He picked it up and he twisted it for a while.
yeah, I think.
Where he did like so. There's two separate containers of the pressure, and he twisted it for a while. I mean, we stood outside for like probably 10 minutes, and he twisted it for probably 5. And eventually, he just started like stomping on it.
Well, no, because at first he was sitting there and he twisted it and he set it on the ground and he like would sit there and he slowly put his foot on it.
Testing the pressure.
And this thing just was a balloon. It expanded. The bottom just blew up and like he was full weight all the way down. He was completely
And it
flat.
was not
And
busting
It's like
open.
sometimes when you step on a balloon, your foot goes all the way down and it just bends around and it sits there and it just wasn't popped. Probably can't see it, but it's fine.
I was gonna move it over here, but Luke's being annoying.
Fine. Here, take it. Have it.
There it is.
Demonstration.
Like that.
Kind of like that. So he's sitting there with it like that, and we're like, wow, that thing is strong.
All right.
After that rude interruption. Yeah, he's just like, man, it's not going anywhere. He just starts like stomping on it, and it's not doing anything. And we're like, what is going on? Like, what is this? Like, what's going on inside of this? And then Evan, you see him
And then
do.
I think I said, put some oomph behind it, because that's what we say when we're pushing pallet jacks around.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't go in the skids. We say, put some oomph behind it. When you
That's
ram
a
it
separate
in.
story behind that.
Oh, yeah, that is. That is another one.
But put some oomph behind it. So he squats down and jumps up. Right foot comes down on it, and it just exploded. I mean, with like great exertive force,
Lightning.
sprayed all of the side of Tyson's car.
And again,
It sprayed through. It sprayed through and over where Tyson's head was. There's stains on the headliner.
all the way
On the fabric liner on the roof.
Again, he's sitting there with the door open, so he's on his phone, and he just gets absolutely peppered
With
all over his face.
this
There is
organic-
chips, like through the car and on the inside of the window on the other side with this organic tomato applesauce just absolutely covered his entire car. We look, us all start dying. We look at Evan's face and Tyson's face.
And then everyone started
start
laughing.
Crying on the floor.
I want to say that Devin and I fell to my knees.
Yeah.
I was crying, laughing so
we said
hard.
it in the break. We were telling Jacob, like, we both immediately to the pavement. The Lowe's parking lot. We were down.
It was so good.
So funny. Hilarious. We're sitting there. And, like, we laughed for so long. By the time we got over to it, it, like, dried. So you would, like, scrape it off, and it was crusty. You wouldn't just wipe it. But that thing got everywhere on his inside, all over him. He was covered and, like, wiping himself down with napkins.
He had it on his glasses. There's, like, 4 or 5 specks on his glasses, too. Oh, man.
There was a car wash, like, right by, like, right next to the Lowe's. And we're like, oh. And he's like, well, good thing the magic tunnel's right there.
Good old.
And he did go through it after work. Oh, I don't think he got it though. Or it didn't do.
It didn't do much.
So funny. One of the top funniest moments of my life. It had
It
to be.
was so good. It just caught us so off guard. Like how much force it exploded with
and
is
how
what
perfectly it sprayed all of Tyson in his car and like nothing else. Like it didn't go anywhere else. It just went straight on him. Hilarious.
Some like Cat in the Hat scenes right there.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But then that leads us into the
oomph behind story. Put some oomph behind. So this is one of Devin's first days. Back in like January. Probably January or early February. We're sitting out there and he is trying to push the pallet jack underneath this skid. And it's just not going.
No, that was
a different time?
I guess kind of
the same day, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was like I don't know if you're talking about before, because at first I tried and I couldn't, and then you helped me, and then we moved it over, and I'm like, all right, you can do this next one, and then that's when because you didn't do the same one at first. I remember sitting there walking behind you.
Yeah.
But go on.
So I was like, oh, put some oomph behind it, like hit it, like he's just like. Barely trying to like just push it in nicely.
Okay, come on now. That's cap.
That is not cap.
I was
bro.
pushing it pretty hard.
Not like I do it. How about that?
Stop. That's cap. My client released 5 statements, 3 of which were on God.
On God.
It's so dumb. Quit it over there. But anyways, so I was like, here, give me that. Took the pallet jack and just slammed it in the first time. Got it good. Pulled it to where we were going with it. So I still had it when we were coming.
Some oomph behind it.
Yeah, I put some oomph behind it. I was like, here, this is how you put the oomph behind it and do it right the first time. I go in for the second one.
Yeah, this is like, I'll do it. He's like, I'll do it this time. He goes in the second one.
I get most of the way in. Yeah, it goes about 85% of the way in. And I'm trying to get that last little bit just so it's all the way in. And I go and I like lean into it and push. And
no, you definitely retracted. It was a full on because you like fell forward.
Yeah, because I was like leaning into it to try to get it. It was already in. I wasn't pulling back.
Actually.
I didn't pull the pallet jack back out.
Yeah.
But I was leaning into it to try to get that last like 6, 7, 8 inches to get it all the way underneath. And the brackets that hold up the arm, like the pump handle, you kind of know what a pallet jack looks like. So there's like 3 bolts that hold it up there. I lean into it, and the bolts holding it up just
no, it was just the metal. The metal just tore. You didn't notice that? It was just it just tore the metal. You were just pushing, and then boom, snap.
I just snapped, and I went body first into the pallet.
He broke it, and then
I broke a pallet
jack. We look at it, and we're like. And Luke's like, wow, I've never done that before.
I've never seen
that before. Because he literally just broke the metal. It was like right above the joint.
Right above the joint. The bolts didn't break, but it was
broke like near the handle or by the bottom?
By the bottom.
You just snapped the handle right off.
I fell right into it.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, it's still attached, and it should make it where we're going with it. So I just pump it up, and after I got done pulling the jack out of that pallet, though, like the whole handle was broke.
And we brought it back to receiving, and we're like, I guess you guys are going to get a new pallet jack sometime soon.
This one was broken, you know.
It was kind of rusty and janky, but ever since then, I've been like kind of wary of ones that seem a little loose in the handle. I'm like, I really don't want to do this again. I was lucky there was like no one outside. Like I couldn't imagine doing that like middle of summer and just push into it and just there's like maybe 10, 15 people that see you just go face first into a pallet.
Handle breaks off.
Handle breaking.
That would be that if it completely broke off. That would have really sucked. Because that would have been.
Because we wouldn't have got it back out.
Yeah, then you have it stuck down. You can't pump it up.
Yeah.
You can't pump it up. You can't pull it out. We might have been able to get it out, but it was still would have. Yeah, it would have been hard.
You had to like tie something to it and pull it out.
We would have. Well, you can. What we probably would have done is you would have put our back up against the fertilizer, and you would have pushed your legs on that little triangle portion down to the forks, and it would eventually made it out.
Yeah.
It would have been pain because that was like a broken pallet, janky pallet, but
those are good times.
fun times.
Fun times for sure.
For sure.
There's nothing better than working with your friend at work.
It's pretty legit.
Mm-hmm.
But we prefaced this earlier. It was like, I hired Devin. Like, we got Devin hired, and I was like,
I hired Devin.
I referred Devin. But I'm like, and it would really suck if I got tired of hanging out with Devin. Yeah. Just because we're at work together all the time.
Like, if there's one day where I'm like, just grumpy.
Been having some beef with old Luke.
Yeah. It would not be a good day.
No, it would suck. But, like, most days we get in the car when we were with Evan, like, no one says anything.
Yeah.
It's always a quiet car ride.
Mm-hmm.
Evan's usually sleeping.
Yeah.
Almost always.
I've slept a few times.
Yeah, you and Evan both sleep pretty regularly.
Not regularly. I don't.
Well, you get quiet. You don't.
I don't
join
say much,
in.
But yeah, but that's because I'm in the back seat and Evan's next to me and he's sleeping, and you guys are in the front seat, so I'm not just.
We're just talking. The
yeah.
parents are talking.
Yeah. Big boys. Mom's in the passenger.
That's right.
Driving.
Dad's driving. Oh yes, that's my seat though.
You got any funny work stories that you remember at the golf course?
Yeah. We're carrying the conversation over here.
At the golf course?
In
Anywhere,
general,
I guess.
Yeah,
funny.
there's a couple mowers that have fallen into some ponds. Trying to jump over the creek and not making it. Getting hit by a golf ball.
You got hit by one?
Yeah.
Where?
Well, so like when we hit the balls back in, it was really close. Like the person that hit it was really close. And it was an employee who did it. But like around the driving range, right, the ball picker can only pick them up on the short fairway. So people that are bad and have been to the rough and everything, we got to go with clubs and chip them back in, which is like the best part of the job because you pretty much just
sitting there swinging golf
sitting
clubs.
there swinging golf clubs for like an hour and a half. And someone just doinked me with one that was behind me. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Where did it hit you?
Hit me like right in the shoulder.
The
back
back
part of the
shoulder?
That would hurt.
I was like, thanks. Good thing that wasn't the base of my skull.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Catch me.
Just knock you
not
out.
walking again.
We'd have to move out of the cabin, get a wheelchair accessible,
You guys would have to carry me out here.
Get a ramp.
get a ramp. Yes. Good old Tom could probably whip one up for us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably.
Oh, we were going to talk about real recent. It was yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Dwayne Haskins passed away.
Yeah.
What is today's date?
The 10th.
April 10th, 2022.
Yeah, definitely
Just for-
rest in peace to
He
an Ohio
died the
legend.
9th, though.
Yeah. Just
Or-
for future reference. Roughly, it's a rough time. So in the future, if we listen to this down the road.
April 9th, 2022.
It was big. Where did
8 something in the morning.
First hear about it.
My cousin texted our family group chat. That's when I first heard about it.
I saw it on someone's story.
I think I saw it on someone's story first, and I was like, I'm so surprised. Like, how didn't I hear about this? Because I'm also a Steelers fan, and he was currently a Steelers quarterback. So I sit there and I go to my Explore page, and most of it's Steelers. Or at the time it was. Steelers. And I sit there and I refresh it, and, like, nothing's popping up. I'm like, what the heck?
Just search Dwayne Haskins.
And I searched on the internet, and it popped up. And, like, 2 minutes later, I went back on Instagram, went to the Explore page, and then it was all over. And I was like, of course. After I just went to Safari and searched it up, now you're going to show me. And I was like, wow.
This kind of sucks.
Yeah.
You don't wish that on anyone, but
No.
Yeah, definitely.
it's brutal.
I know there's a movement right now to retire his number. The Steelers
7?
No, 3.
3.
That's Pittsburgh. They're thinking about retiring it.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah. Like, I just thought the same thing. I'm like, that seems like a big thing to
Big
retire
move
a
for
number.
someone who.
But then again, like, a current football player dying is like I was telling Jake, like that's really rare.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't happen very often.
Like you get a few guys who get in legal troubles and they don't play again, or they get injured, you know, or like they get in an accident, you know, like Henry Ruggs, he just got hurt and whatnot. That, you know, that all happens, but like someone dying,
It's just straight up passing away.
doesn't happen too often.
Doesn't.
You know, a couple I can think of was Pat Tillman, right? Wasn't he the guy that went into the army?
He went in, served in Afghanistan.
Yeah, and then he was killed there.
What a G.
And absolute legend.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
On Sean Taylor. How was he killed, you know?
He died defending his house from a robbery, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, he was young. Again, he's an absolute legend. His name will stick forever. Obviously, I think both of those guys probably had a longer time in the NFL than Dwayne Haskins. And, like, even just by themselves alone, like, skill-wise, they're still better. But them dying, like, before they retired still definitely boost their, what do you call it?
Their memorability.
Yeah.
Legacy.
That's what it is.
Their legacy.
So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if some pretty big things, like Demaryius Thomas, too. He died. He was a Broncos wide receiver. He retired.
Yeah, but he was only like 3 years out of retirement, maybe more.
That's probably more like 5.
Well, I know he played in their most recent Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was a bit ago.
It's been, what, 2016? 2015.
Like that.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know when he exactly retired, but that was really big.
Yeah, that was a big one. I think they retired his number. And again, he retired, so I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if
Just kind of sucks.
pretty big. Yeah.
Just kind of sucks.
Was this he had 1 year as a Steeler, played his first 2 with Washington, and then he went to Pittsburgh.
I think so.
Sat behind Ben.
Yep.
I mean, at least maybe you learned something. Would have learned something from him, but
I mean, he had a good chance to start too this year.
Oh, yeah.
Behind Mitch Trubisky.
I've been telling all my friends, if I had to bet on someone, I would bet he was going to be a starter. I still think he's really good and talented. I think he was in a terrible situation in Washington.
Yeah.
he just got drafted
terrible
over
fit.
there.
It just did not work there. I think in Pittsburgh he would have done a lot better, you know, a little bit better guidance under Ben or whatever. Absolute gunslinger. I mean, still got an arm cannon.
Yeah. I mean, he's a Buckeyes legend, has the single season passing touchdown record and single season yards record.
He is probably one of the best passing quarterbacks Ohio State has ever had.
Yeah.
Because obviously you have, like, you know, Justin Fields, C.J. Stroud, Braxton Miller, T.J. Barrett, who are, but
Cardale Jones. Well, Cardale Jones was definitely a passer.
Yeah,
he was a
and he didn't. He's obviously certified himself just because how clutch he was, but he didn't play for long. But all those guys were like improvisers, kind of scramblers. You know, they were athletic guys that take on the run. Dwayne he sat in the pocket and he whipped that thing down the field, put it on the money. I just remember watching him. Like he was in the Heisman. It was him, Kyler.
He was a finalist.
Him, Kyler Murray, and someone else. Kyler won it, but I think Dwayne Haskins won it. But yeah, he has records filled
everywhere
in Ohio State with passing.
Just mostly
yards,
passing
touchdowns.
records.
I think he holds a single game, most passing yards in a game. Single season. I don't know about touch. He's tied touchdowns. He's tied with touchdowns. So
I think he has 50. He threw 50 in one season, so that's the record for the Buckeyes.
Yeah. I'm like single game passing touchdowns. It's like a 3-way tie. C.J. Stroud.
What is it, like 5,
I think it's
6?
6 passing touchdowns, I believe.
Wow.
And it's like a 3-way tie.
That's a lot.
It is.
One of my friends is one off the Ohio record. When old Dame Dollar threw for 7.
I don't remember that.
In a game?
Yeah. Or 6 maybe.
Was it a JV game?
No. It was the Bethel game. Ben has the record in Ohio in a game.
I didn't know that.
Didn't know.
Yeah.
True.
But another interesting thing about Dwayne Haskins and everything is, like, he obviously was killed in Florida, and the crazy thing is like the reason why they were all in Florida is because Mitchell Trubisky has a house in Florida, and he invited all the quarterbacks and all the skill guys to come down, you know, throw and catch and just basically bond, because obviously there's a lot of differences in the quarterback room and just uncertainty and trades and stuff. So they thought get them all down. So that's the reason they were in Florida, and it was real hard for a lot of them because like I know Chase Claypool has videos going around about him crying, saying like, "Dude, I was just with you," because like
He was.
they were all like just with him. Like
Yeah.
he was probably walking to the facility they were going to go throw at for the day when he was killed.
It's
So
wild.
technically, it's all Mitchell Trubisky's fault. If he didn't invite him to his house in Florida.
Hey, can't look on the past. Can't dwell on the past like that.
Yeah.
'Cause every single decision you've made in your entire life has led you to this moment right now.
It's very true. I think about that sometimes. Like, imagine if you had made even like the slightest decision, like eat a banana, not eat banana. How will that change your mood for the rest of the day and change like your thought process? Maybe that'll lead to this different decision, and then this one, and then this one, this one. And they may each be pointless, but by the end of the day, you may be in a completely different situation, place or whatever.
Like I had 2 bowls of cereal at breakfast. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I wanted a second one when I had the first one.
Yeah. Let's see, you didn't have either bowls this morning. You're just hungry.
I'd be hungry right now.
Yeah. And then maybe later on, you would be driving to some restaurant to get food. There, you see someone famous or something. You start talking with them, and
Meets his future wife.
yeah, like
Maybe.
If you
Could
didn't
be.
eat those bowl of cereals, you could have found the love of your life, Luke.
How's that
Maybe.
feel?
Maybe.
No,
I feel about the same as I always do. Lonely.
No pity party on here, Luke.
Oh, we're always a pity party though.
I think
No,
we're
I
always
am
quite
a pity party.
joyous.
No. Okay.
Yeah. You're the only one pitiful.
Wow. All right. Well, on that note, I gotta go grab my keys.
All right, about time.
Thank
Now that time to get out of here.
Goodness.
Ah, man.
Rude.
Well, we'll slide on to that. So, if it's ever revealed that we're like in a simulation, what to you guys would look back and say, oh, well, that's kind of obvious? Like, what aspects of life make that fact we're in a simulation obvious?
Man, that random door I can't walk through in my basement. I don't know. It's kind of whack.
Yeah.
Or the random light coming from the back room all the time. I don't know what's going on,
We
but
don't even have a back room, and it's just there.
Bananas being cold, even though they're room temp.
bro, you have got to get off this
We already
banana
figured
thing,
that
bro.
out. Specific heat, bro. God.
But that could just be a simulation.
I'm going to say how faces are recycled.
Faces? Like,
Like, you'll see the same,
Human
you
face?
see the same person. Like, you'll be in Disneyland, see that person. You'll be walking through Walmart, see that person. You'll see him at some big event. You just keep seeing the same people.
I can't say I've ever experienced that.
No, it definitely happens. Like if you go to you're out, say you're at Disney, and you see someone that's very distinguishable. Like they have purple and pink hair, weigh 400 pounds, and they're wearing a tank top. Like you're like, oh my, that's a person.
That's a person.
Then you'll see them.
Okay.
Then that entire time you're there, you'll probably see them 8 more times.
Did you just describe your wife? Your future wife?
And no,
No. Oh. Okay.
no,
Just
probably
checking.
not. No. I'd rather not be like that.
Then again, I'm not good with faces either. That's another I don't want to say pet peeve of mine.
Like, you can't connect names to faces, or just faces in general?
I have a fear. I have a fear of saying someone's name wrong. Like, I do all I can to not say people's names. Even if I know for 99.9% chance that I know it, obviously, I'm like, what if I get it wrong, though? What if I call Matt Mark?
Or Mark Matt.
You know? Yeah. Like, you know how much it'd be terrible. So I usually just sit there and just say, hey, man, or dude, or don't say their name.
Bro, that happened to me at a track meet recently.
You said, someone's name you obviously knew. You said
I
it
thought
wrong.
I knew someone. I thought he was someone else that he wasn't. I was like, "Sup, man?" Said his name. He's like, that's not me. I don't know you." I'm like,
Ooh.
"Oh, my bad, G." But
So you didn't know him.
yeah,
See, that's not
I
even...
thought I knew him, but
Yeah, that's not even that bad. I'm talking
it didn't
about
feel that bad.
if I would I guess not you guys because we're too close, but one of my neighbors or family members that I don't see that often, if I go up and I say their name wrong, bro,
You're a goner.
very suicidal. People ask me how I'm doing.
That's 2 episodes in a row,
Very
bro.
suicidal.
Yeah,
I was
down.
quoting the TikTok there.
And you just have to say I'm fine, even though I'm not actually fine.
You just say you're fine.
Oh
I hate
man,
that. I do all I can to try to avoid saying people's names and stuff.
just in
Just
the event you get it wrong,
Yeah.
I've never had that problem before.
Hmm.
Never will.
you just don't have that fear.
Yeah.
Right, Duke?
What?
I mean, Luke.
Oh, yikes!
That was a miss.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
I didn't get it at first.
I was like, what? No
Yeah,
one's called me that in forever.
Duke?
Duke. People
Yeah.
have called you Duke before?
Yeah.
That's what we call a Luke.
It
in
was
our
my
grade.
grandpa's dog's name. It was Duke.
So why'd they call you?
Rhyming,
Were they
rhyming.
insulting you?
No, that dog was great. Duke was a great dog.
He might be the best dog in the world, but I don't want to be compared to a dog.
But at least he's loyal. Unlike some of these people out here.
Bad.
Did he smell good? Or was he a smelly dog?
I mean, he was a freaking outdoor dog who just ran around a farm. You think he was like some pampered house pet?
Yeah, so they're not the same. Because that's pampered house pet right there.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm a pampered owl's pet.
Pampered couch pet.
Well, chair pet.
Couch
I don't have a
potato.
couch. Man, I wish we had a couch in the carry out. Think about it. That'd be dangerous.
It'd be dangerous.
Yeah, you'd fall asleep. People would have to be knocking on the window. Hey, can
You
I
had to
get
do-
my food?
Hey, if the bell would work consistently,
Yeah.
if the bell we have, so like we have like one of those old school, like there's a little line on the floor and you drive over it and the pressure, there's like water or something in there. When you drive over it, it's supposed to make enough pressure to ding, an old school bell. If the bell would work consistently, I would have no issues falling sleeping at work. But the bell doesn't work consistently,
Yeah.
which is because like even if I'm like sitting there, like we have a little desk in there that came out of the school. I'm sitting there working on homework. Like I've missed cars pulling up and the bell didn't work, and then they would like honk their horn and scare the crap out of me. And I'm like, "What do you want?
What do you want?
What you want? I'm working over
Why
here."
are you here? I'm doing my homework. Oh, I'm working. Oh, my bad.
Oh, what are you doing? But yeah, that'd be pretty great. 'Cause, like I used to have jobs where I could like sleep at work because then I could just sleep, and if someone needed me, they'd just like tap on the glass. Like when I worked at the ice cream shop,
Mm-hmm.
I would just sit in the lawn chair, let the sun beat in through the glass on me. I'd have everything clean. It'd be like a Sunday, super slow day. Someone needs me. If I would fall asleep on accident, just
What do you put up a little sign? Tap on glass.
no, like people see
Tap
me just
for
like
service.
Ring bell for service.
ring bell for service, ding,
They just see you on the couch,
Ding,
throw the
ding.
blanket off. Get
roll up.
What do you want?
What you want? Oh
Good
man,
times.
That'd be
I'm
pretty-
tired. I need to go home and take a nap.
You should just go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
This man didn't go to bed till 4 a.m. last night.
I think, yeah.
You think? Oh, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Sounds.
I went home about 3 hours before then, or at least I started it because I had to bring.
I was
Another
asleep when
person
you went home.
I wish I was asleep when I went home.
Dude, I've been watching so much Gold Rush lately. That's all I
Bro.
did yesterday is I watched Gold Rush.
Same. I love
Gold
that.
Rush?
Yeah, Gold Rush.
Yeah.
There's a mining show from
Yeah.
Discovery. Yeah.
You were watching Discovery on Demand.
Yes.
Sorry to cut off your guys' gold rush, but it's time to end it.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure you subscribe, follow, like, thumbs up. I don't know what else. Hit all the buttons you're supposed to.
Follow us.
Make us be visible to other people. We love
For
you.
the algorithm.